This is a demo video about the DGT electronic Draughts system. In this particular setup I have not connected any Draughts boards to my computer, but I do have all the necessary software installed, and so I can show you all the configurations necessary to operate an actual system, and to mention some of the tricks, do's and don'ts that are connected with the usage of this system. Okay, so please note that besides the software that I have put in this folder eBoards and that I will show you shortly, you will also need installed on your computer the most recent version of Java. And if you don't have this software installed already, you can just surf to java.com and install the most recent version for free. Okay, so now assuming that you have installed Java, let's open the folder with all the necessary software. Actually, there are three programs that you need. You need the Tomaboko EBS software. This is the small program that arranges communication between your eBoard or eBoards and your computer. You will need the EBS, the electronic board service software. This is the program that talks with the Tomaboko that produces portable drafts notation and distributes it to the internet. And you need actually some FTP software, and I can recommend Fling Files Transfer software. And this is the software that you use in combination with EBS to upload the PDNs to your live drafts server. So we have now connected one eBoard to your computer. Let's assume that. We start with launching the Tomaboko Draughts software. This is the software that talks with the Draughts board directly. Let's assume for now that you have connected the Draughts board via a USB connector to COM port 1, and now it is important to select the appropriate cabling type. This must always be set to serial bus. If it's not, you can go to the field, you select the pull down menu and you choose the serial bus mode. So no serial, no USB, no ambient, always serial bus. After you have selected serial bus, you activate the COM port, and then you will see that in this column connected and in this column active, you will see the number of connected eBoards appear. So if you have one eBoard connected, you will see 2 ones. If you have 2 eBoards, you will see 2, etc. Right now there's no Draughts board connected, so you do not see anything. Okay, now you can go to the overview tab, and here you will see the eBoard serial number or serial numbers of the eBoards, number of scans. If everything is okay for each board, this number of scans should be 42, and you will see the thinking time or the clock time of both white and black. The most important feature or the most important column is this column with errors. As long as the error number is 0, as long as you will not see any errors indicated behind any board, your system is operating fine. As soon as you see one error, just one error, you can assume that your broadcast has been corrupted. So if something is the matter with your broadcast, the first thing to check is in your Tomaboko software if you see any errors appearing. Okay, now we now have seen the status overview, and we go to settings in Tomaboko, and here we see a server address to be filled out and the port to be filled out. This is the information on how to connect with the EBS, the electronic boards server. So I'm now going to the EBS folder, and via the run file, by double clicking it, I launch EBS. And as with the Tomaboko, also in the EBS, we work from the left to the right, so we go to the most left tab, Inputs, and here below you see there are also two subtabs. Right now we are in the Connections subtab, but we go to the Server subtab, and now we have the information that the Tomaboko wants to have. Here you see the IP address, and here you see the port address. So let's bring the Tomaboko software to the front, and now we can type in the IP address of the EBS and the port address 50,000. Well, when we have done that, you can in the Tomaboko software click the Connect button, and you will see that in the EBS information from the Tomaboko has arrived. So as soon as you see this, you know that there is successful communication, first of all, between the eBoard and the Tomaboko software, and
It's 15 hours.
And now also between the Tomaboko software and the EBS software. Okay, then we go one tab to the right, to the Outputs tab, because this is the information coming into the EBS, and we also want to use the EBS to export information, to publish the information on the internet. And in order to do that, usually you will use some sort of a JavaScript live applet, probably the so-called ORTAP applet. And here you can configure this applet. First of all, we go to the again, there are subtabs below, so we go to the most left of the subtabs and we check, is file upload enabled? Yes, it is. If not, you can activate it. Then it's very important to have the file name template exactly as shown here. So in caps lock round/game number dot pdn dot and then gz in small letters. Okay. And then it's important to define a target folder. It's already defined here. We have in the root of the computer, in the root of C, we have created a folder called DGT. And it's important to notice, I just clicked the edit button here, that for the protocol you need to select file. What this does is that the EBS is now configured to dump PDN files into the root folder of your computer. And you will use a third application, Fling, to upload those PDN files to the live Draughts server. The reason that you don't upload the PDN files directly from the EBS, you could choose FTP after all, is that by using a third independent application, you can better manage the systems process. It's to say that if one of the processes in the EBS crashes, or when upload crashes, FTP upload crashes, EBS can continue to function, and all you need to do is relaunch Fling. And in 9 out of 10 cases, the problem, if there is a problem, it usually is a problem with internet connectivity, a problem with upload, a problem with file transfer protocol. And as we now have put FTP upload into the Fling application that is running independently, we can also eliminate any problems concerning FTP by stopping and relaunching Fling without impacting any of the registration from the eBoards by, for example, stopping or relaunching EBS. Okay, so we have configured this. Okay. And very important also is to activate this square, compress the output. Now then we go to below, Advanced, and here you can configure the time in between subsequent uploads. It means that in this case the EBS dumps a PDN file of each game every 10 seconds on the hard drive of your computer. And this will also mean that Fling, that auto detects any change in the specific folder, will upload every 10 seconds a fresh PDN file to the live drafts server. It's possible, of course, to increase the frequency of the uploads or to decrease it, but I would recommend to use 10 and certainly not more, as most FTP clients and most FTP servers have a problem with handling FTP uploads that are faster than that. Okay, now we have configured the most important internet output, and we go now to the tournament configuration, the tournament info, because we want to know, of course, who is playing against whom, maybe for what tournament they are playing, and for which round. Now all this can be edited in the tab Round Editor. So I click on the Round Editor tab, and right here I can fill out, for example, DGT test event, and we are playing this test event in Enschede, the hometown of DGT. And please note that actually you can put any information you wish into these two fields. The only square that really has a predefined format or name format is this square. It must be formatted like this. If you play, for example, a 9-round tournament, you must always type ronde, the French word for round, which also happens to be the Dutch word, by the way, followed by the number of the round. So in this case, round 1. It's imperative that you do not leave any space in between the word round and number 1. And it's imperative that you do it in the French way, so ronde instead of round. This is it. And if, for example, you are in round number 4, then you must configure it like this. Okay. Now, this is the most important information. Of course, we want to add the number of games that will be broadcast. If we have one e-board connected, we need to add just one game. We can do that with the button on the bottom left. Click, and you see a new line appearing. Board ID. When we click on this field, if there will be one or more e-boards connected, you can select in the drop-down menu the board that you wish to have as game number 1. And here you can see the names of the white and the black player. And you can define those names here on the right. For example, we can say Fritz. And we press then add, is playing against Kees, add, and now we can, for the black player for example, we can with the pull down menu choose which player has black, let's say Kees. Well, white then is Fritz, and we have defined all the necessary information for this round. After we have done this, we save the information of this round with the contextual menu above, editor, save as, and I suggest that you find a folder that is convenient to you, for example your documents folder or a folder created on your desktop. You give the round a name, for example ronde 1, ronde 1, you choose save. And now you are only one step away from broadcast. You now go to the one step to the left, to Live Round tab. And now you load the information that you just saved in the editor. So you are in the Live Round tab, you go to the contextual menu Live Round. You click Load. Here is the file name of the round information, you select, you load, and you see the information that you just defined in the round editor is appearing. So everything now is set, and now you wish to start the round. You do this by going again to the contextual menu Live Round on top, and you press Start Round. When you press Start Round, a pop-up will appear, displaying the current situation. It says you're right now in round 4. The number of games or the number of boards is 1, and you are broadcasting via the Dumbo Lite applet, which is enabled. If all the information provided there is okay with you, you press OK, and the upload or the dump of the PDN files to the root of your computer will start, and as soon as the first file has been dumped to the root, Fling will detect it and will automatically upload it. If you wish to see the progress of or the status of the uploads, you can go to the most right tab, Upload Monitor, and if actually an eBoard is connected, you will see here information about the latest uploads. This is in short what is needed to start a broadcast. This of course was only the Tomaboko and EBS software, and I will briefly show you also the configuration of the Fling software that is needed. So I go back to the folder with all the eBoard software, and there I double click on Fling. This is the interface of Fling. I go to Properties, and right here basically what is happening, Fling is looking in a predefined folder, the DGT folder that we created in the root of the hard drive. I think I call it DGT, so I select DGT, I press OK. So this is the folder where Fling is always looking, is there some detection, is some change to the file detected. And now the only thing that you need to define for yourself is, depending on the web server that you are using, you need to of course provide the address, etc, etc, and then you are all set to go. Let me think if there are. I think that I have one important tip for now to start with, as this is just a provisional video and I expect to probably give you a more extensive and also with actually connected eBoards video at a later point in time. But one thing to keep in mind is that whatever you do after the broadcast has started, it's very important to, let's say, not touch or not to shut down the Tomaboko software. As long as the Tomaboko software is running, all the raw information coming out of the eBoard or eBoards is being recorded and being kept. So you can, even after the start of the broadcast, you can relaunch Fling, for example, as much as you wish, without it having any impact on the information that is being recorded by the EBS and the Tomaboko. Actually, as soon as the internet or FTP connection is re-established, it will just reassume at the most recent point, and it will also broadcast all the history of the game before. Also, the same applies to the EBS. I do not recommend relaunching the EBS unless really necessary, but it is possible to relaunch the EBS without losing any really important information. The only information that you lose by relaunching the EBS and restarting the round broadcast is the time information per move. And well, this is something that under circumstances I think everybody can live with. So this is the first attempt to demonstrate to you the functioning of the e-boards. I wish you good luck, and with any questions you can always feel free to contact the DGT support desk. Thank you very much for your attention, and let's play some drafts.